Hey everyone, it is a beautiful sunny day. This is like the third day in a row. We've gotten 61 degrees the last 2 days, and I'm sure today is slated to be just as warm. Just beautiful. It's like March came and spring hit all of a sudden. I'm loving it. So I have a couple things to show you today out in my greenhouse for one, but then here in our yard I found something interesting, and it explains a mystery for why we had something in a certain place, which I'll show you here in a bit. I apologize for any bright sun causing shadows and squinting and whatnot, but it's really bright out. So anyway, let me show you this really interesting thing that I found. So right here, of course, I'm in front of our root cellar here, and you know, here's the patio to our porch, and then we have these walking steps here, right? Makes sense, walking through the grass to the root cellar. But then over here there's 4 more steps, but they don't go anywhere. It's like, you know, where are they going? Never understood it until now. About right in here, this last fall, we had some naked lady flowers, which in the fall the flowers bloom, and then in the spring the green leaves come up. So it's an interesting plant, and just found out about them this last year. So, you know, you can see these stems here. It's either those or this kind here. That's the naked ladies. I don't know which greenery it is. But anyway, so I saw these green plants coming up in the middle of the grass, and I thought, oh, those are the greenery, the foliage for those naked lady plants. So I didn't think much of it. But then I started noticing more and more popping up where the naked ladies had not bloomed last year. Watch out, Inky. Watch out, watch out, watch out. So I began noticing there's some right over there. Hey, cat, you're interrupting things. So I noticed some over there, and then of course these right here, just popping up all over. And then I kept looking over here, and you know, there's some more. All the way, and guess what they're lined up with? Yeah, the walking stones. And then I looked even further over here, and so from here and then all the way over to where Inky is, there's more lines, or a more line of flowers. This here is a faucet for hooking the hose up to, and this faucet is hooked up to our irrigation pump that goes into the creek. We have some faucets that are hooked up to the irrigation pump, and some faucets are hooked up to our well, so that we have year-round water without having to turn on the irrigation. So anyway, then I kept looking even more. Oops, sorry, my shadow's in the way, and then Inky's in the way. So all the way, and Inky just laid on them. Inky, what is up with you? So I think those are daffodils, maybe, and then here are some tulips coming up. So all the way over to here, whole bunch is right here, and then all the way over here to where the raised bed with the strawberries is. Oh, and I just found some more over here in the shadows. Some more just popping up right here. So I just thought that was really cool, kind of a look at the history of the place. Since it's our first spring here, I never knew, sorry, the sun's bright, never knew that, you know, this was apparently all in flower bed or something at some point. So yeah, that means that all of this area right here was probably in some kind of flower bed. And then the bulbs, of course, are sticking around. They don't fade away like other plants might after you get grass in there, but I thought that was so cool. Just a little bit of the history of the farm here. Kind of cool. So it's exciting to have those there. It's a little interesting to have them just pop up in the middle of the lawn. So we'll have to make sure not to mow them down once it's time to start mowing. Anyway, let's go take a look in the greenhouse and I'll show you what I've been up to. Thought I'd show you around our little greenhouse that we have here. This is a little fiberglass greenhouse that was left here by the previous owners. It's quite sturdy, unlike my other greenhouse that was destroyed by the winds. So I'm using this to start seeds. It's quite warm outside with 60. It's been close to 80 in here at least. So I just came in here yesterday to plant a whole bunch of the seeds. So I'll just kind of show you around in here and you can see what it's like to have this little fiberglass greenhouse. So you can see here they have some built-ins. They have these built-in shelves, both sides, and the slats in here are actually movable. So you can scoot them around as needed, you know, leave openings so that if you have to water stuff, it can seep through. And then up here is where you can hang hanging plants as needed. And they have these big drum barrels in here, painted black, and I'm assuming they're full of water, designed to be a heater of sorts. They collect the heat from the sun during the day and it helps keep it warm in here during the night. I'm assuming that's what they're there for. At first I thought they were there as part of the shelving unit, but I think it's more for being the heat source. On the bottom over here, they have a raised bed in this section. So you can see there's still some chard growing here. They had a big broccoli plant that was growing out over here. I pulled that out just the other day because it had died completely. But it was still producing little broccoli flowerets, into the winter. So there's spinach and chard mostly. I think those are beet greens over there. So I'll get this kind of cleaned out some more and maybe get some other things planted in here. Over here, the bottom shelves are for storage and whatnot. And they had actually left some perlite and I'm not sure what, peat moss over there it looks like. I bought that dirt. They left a whole bunch of seedling pots. And then they also left some sand. So this is my little greenhouse. And even up top here, see if I can show you, they have some vents. Let me show you. I can't see what I'm looking at here. Anyway, some vents that will open up automatically. This one opens up. This other one, I think I'm gonna have to do a readjustment because it doesn't open at all. So what I've seen Al at Lumna Acres do anyway when he was building his greenhouse is you take off that little black handle, put it in the freezer and let it cool off, and then you bring it back out and hook it back up, and it should then work as it should to open the lids, or open the tops. And then there's a window here on this side, and of course the door on that side. So let me show you some, and look, a mixing table. I've always wanted one of these for some reason. Anyway, so here I've planted just a whole bunch of my seeds. Mostly, let's see, this one is all different kinds of peppers. Just each one of these is a different kind of pepper. And I think I planted every single kind of pepper that I have. So if you want to see those, you can go back and look at the seed series that I did. It's in video number 1, it talks about all of my pepper seeds that I have. And these also are pepper seeds here, including my purple peppers, which are in video number 2, the color purple. So these right here, this is White Soul Wild Strawberry, and this is the Red Wild Strawberry, and this is the Mountain Cranberry. And these, I just threw a whole bunch of seeds into one container each. And then once they sprout, then I'll transplant them as needed. This right here, I didn't actually talk about in my other videos. This is a purple passion asparagus, and I had bought a purple passion asparagus in one of my local stores, I think, and it had grown in the pot, and it had a seed develop on the foliage, and so I saved that seed and seed pod, I guess. There was about 3 seeds in it, so I ended up planting that in here, and hopefully I'll get some more asparagus plants from that. So these right here are a lot of the brassicas, the cabbage, the broccoli, cauliflower, excuse me, more broccoli. Yep, all of these right here, and these 2 are going to be my brassicas. These right here are tomatoes. Tomatoes all in here, tomatoes here, and then tomatoes all here. And then again, I talked about those in my video number 1 series. Over here, these are all of the rhubarb seeds that I had that came in the pack. And I planted about 3 seeds for each of the small containers, and then 4 seeds for each of the big containers. So we'll see if I can grow rhubarb from seed or not. These right here, trying to remember. Oh, these are more rhubarb. That's right. These are Moringa seeds here. So I bought some Moringa seeds. They're organic. I don't think anything's been done to them, so they won't be able to grow. So I'm hoping that I'll be able to grow. Moringa's not perennial in my area, but it can be grown as an annual, so I'm hoping to be able to do that. And then here are soap nut seeds, and I talked about them in my cats and dogs having fun. I talked about them in my 3rd video, I think, about unique seeds. So if you don't know what soap nuts are, it's a type of berry that grows on a tree, and they have the berries on them when they're dried. They have some soapy qualities to them, and a lot of people will use them to do their laundry or to make a hand soap out of. So they're old seeds, and I've planted some before and never had any luck, so I'm hoping that this time around I can get it right. So that's a little look in my greenhouse here. We are looking to move this greenhouse over to behind this building over here, the other side, right behind those buildings there, because it just seems more convenient to me to have it over there. It'll be closer to a faucet that's a year-round faucet rather than a faucet that's hooked up to the irrigation system. Even though the creek is here, and I was actually grabbing my little watering can and just filling it with water from the creek. So I guess that's convenient. But in our farm goals, this is one of the goals, is to move this over yonder. So anyway, I have some things to show you out in the garden, so let's go check on that. So right here I'm standing where our former greenhouse was, the one destroyed by the winds. And I just wanted to show you, I had planted some radish, some lettuce, and some carrots. And throughout most of the winter they were uncovered because the greenhouse was gone. So they've survived, or we'll see what they look like anyway, after 20-degree weather and 16 feet of snow. So let's take a look and see what's happened to the produce that I planted in the greenhouse. So here's the radishes, and you can see the greenery is still fine. I don't know that I see any bulbs forming per se. That doesn't mean they won't, but I'm kind of leery that they will grow bulbs. I think they might just, oh, wait, what's that? I see a little bit of a red bulb there. Let's get some light on it. There you go. So we might get a few radish out of this, but I'm thinking maybe the rest of the plants might just bolt and grow stalks and get seeds on them. So we'll see if we get any more radishes. Here's some more up here. Just a few of a really old seed that I had planted. So yeah, they're still green, they're still growing, and they're enjoying this weather. we'll see what happens. But this, hey pups, yeah, you just stat on some of my lettuce, you know. You got something to say? Okay, I'm gonna show them the lettuce. Is that all right with you? So this is lettuce that I planted, and it's called the Marvel of Four Seasons. That's the English version. It's French. It actually has a French name, but I don't know the French very well. Anyway, it looks great, and I'm actually thinking we'll be able to harvest some to eat here soon. Marvel of Four Seasons, I guess. It'll grow through the winter, you guys. Here's proof positive that it'll grow. I'm gonna pick one and eat it. A little bit bitter, but added with other lettuce, it might make for a nice accent flavor. Anyway, there's some carrot seeds growing in here, and then more carrot seeds on, look, a runaway lettuce seed. But more carrots growing here, and as with the radish, I don't know why I keep wanting to call radish rhubarb. I'm worried that these are just gonna grow and seed and not develop roots. But we'll see. As they get bigger, we'll just keep an eye on them. Of course, over here, this was not in the greenhouse. Hello, Inky. But I have radish, or not radish, good grief, garlic. So 3 long rows of garlic here that go all the way down to those sticks down there. So excited to have all this garlic. Hopefully this will keep us good for most of the year on fresh garlic. Well, I've had some questions answered regarding whether or not artichoke will survive in our climate, and it looks like it will, even without a cover on it. So I had 2 artichoke plants, this big one that I had covered, and then this little one that I had covered, but a couple of our big windstorms blew the cover off. The first time I rescued it from down at our fence here, and then the last time the bag just disappeared. It blew off into the neighborhood somewhere. So I've discovered that it survives even through 20-degree weather, even under 16 inches of snow. It survives just fine without the cover. So I'm ecstatic about that. I've got these 2 plants, and I'll be planting some more, I'm sure, throughout the food forest. So anyway, that's a little bit of an update on our farm, some of the stuff we've been doing, some of the stuff we've been discovering, and I'm just excited to have you guys along with us, and thank you for joining me on this little tour of our garden. Bye.